guys, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page about sort of the formatting of the essay as well as the in-text citations. So the first thing, I want you to make sure that you're using like Arial or Times font, something that's really nice and easy to read, and either size 11 or size 12. And the second thing is to make sure that your essay is double spaced. So you can do that by highlighting your essay. Mine is already double spaced, and then clicking this button here and down to double. Okay, so that's the first quick piece of business. Second, let's make sure that I know who wrote which paragraph. Remember, each individual is responsible for one body paragraph, and then as a group you will write your introduction and your conclusion. So the way that you'll show me who wrote what paragraph is through color coding. So this is Jane Doe. Jane Doe I have indicated in blue, John is going to be in red, and June is going to be in purple. And so then once you get to write your body paragraph, you're going to type in that color. So this paragraph here must be Jane's paragraph. The next thing that I want to talk about is how we're going to do the in-text citations and the works cited page. So the way that that will work is I typically like to first create my works cited page. And the way that we'll do that is kind of a couple of ways, I guess. So if you'll go back to your outline page where you have your links to the information that you used, I liked to just visit this website, and if you used the opposing viewpoints or any of those databases from the library, something really cool that this does is it creates a citation at the bottom of the page. So all you need to do is highlight the citation, copy it, and then paste it into your document. But I want you to notice something, that this has what's called a hanging indent. And it needs to have that same hanging indent when you paste it into your document here. So I'm going to paste it, and hopefully it just looks nice, but here it doesn't look nice. So what I typically like to do is I do something called paste without formatting, and then it just pastes it. But then what I have to do is to create that hanging indent. So how you do that is you go to the second line. You can't really see what I'm doing here, but you hit the enter button. Nothing's going to happen. And then you hit the tab button, and it will allow you to tab. The reason that enter button is really important is because if I don't hit that enter button and I try to tab on this line, it's going to tab the first line instead. So again, enter on that second line and then tab. And then I can just go to my following lines and hit the enter button, and it's going to tab everything correctly. I've also cited my second source here. So again, I'm going to, it was also from opposing viewpoints, so that was pretty easy. Okay. And we want it to be alphabetized. So I have this, first one is alphabetized. It's alphabetized by the first entry. So here I have Kramer, here I have understanding. So far it's alphabetized. But you might be asking, what if I use something that wasn't in Gale? So for example, I have a source here that is a YouTube video, and you can absolutely use a YouTube video. I like to use a tool called EasyBib to cite my sources. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this link, and I'm going to go to easybib.com. I really like EasyBib because it kind of takes all of the legwork out of creating citations, does mostly everything for you. All you have to do is paste the URL here, click this button here, Cite It, and then as long as this is correct, which it is, I will click Cite This. It found a bunch of the information that we needed, so I'm just going to click Continue to Final Step. And it has the author here, it has the publisher, it has the website title, it has the URL, the date that it was published. So I'm just going to click Create Citation. Okay, I have to view this ad. Let me pause. I'll come back in a sec. Okay, since I watched that ad, I now have unlimited EasyBib access for 48 hours or something. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this information and I'm going to paste it here where it belongs alphabetically. So since it starts with an N, it is going to go under this one here. And I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to do again without formatting. I hit enter and tab. And I do have to italicize this here because it's the title. I also have to italicize this. It's the title of the long work that the article came from. Okay, so that is what our Works Cited page will look like. And now it's important to remember that your Works Cited page is partners with your in-text citation. So what I want to do is I want to go back up in my text and I want to remember what was the first word in my citation that I'm going to be using. So the first word in this citation is Kramer, or the first entry, let's say. The first entry here is Kramer. So I'm going to go back up to my place where I've used it. And actually it was the second citation here. And remember, I'm going to take the period out of the quotation mark because I'm going to bump it outside of the parenthetical citation. And I'm going to write Kramer here in the parentheses, and the period will go outside of the parenthesis there. Again, the reason I'm using the first entry here is because when my audience reads this paragraph, he can take this word, he can go down to my Works Cited page, and he can learn, okay, that quote must have come from this source. In the same way, if I have something that came from this source, understanding the Dakota Access Pipeline, which I do, I'm going to find where I took from that source. I'm going to put the citation here. And now my audience will understand that this quote came from this resource. So now what they have to do is if they want to know more from this resource, they'll go down to my Works Cited page and they'll find understanding, and they'll be able to quickly find it and access it if they'd like to do so. So that's how we're going to format our Works Cited page and our in-text parenthetical citations. Make sure that you do these correctly to get full credit on your group essay. Good luck!